Hi, my name is Kurt Travis. I sing for a band called Royal Coda, and you're watching SoundlinkTV.
All right, everybody, what is up? This is Trenton with SoundlinkTV, hanging out with the one and only Kurt Travis here at the Radio Room in Greenville, South Carolina. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. You're on this solo tour and everything, playing some, some intimate shows and all that. And a tour got announced with Royal Coda and stuff recently, actually today. And so, like, you're on the road a lot now. So, how's the road life been treating you on these past tours? And what are you looking forward to on this upcoming tour?
It's been really fun. The people that are in my solo band, they're like so cool to be around. And I love playing with Adventure. Adventure is rad. Me and Andreas are doing this VIP meet and greet thing where we're doing like some acoustic stuff. That's been really fun. I'm looking forward to Makari jumping on the tour. Actually, Adventure's last night is tonight, and Makari starts.
A funny story because Makari toured here last year and Adventure was on that tour, so it sucks that Makari couldn't be here tonight. But I remember Makari playing with Adventure here on their tour last year, which is how I found out about him. So that was a fun show. But
it was very bittersweet. It was like I wanted both of the bands on the tour, but Makari could only do half of it, so I just kind of rearranged some stuff. So.
Yeah, before we get into all your solo stuff, we got to take it back. You know what's coming probably right now.
No worries.
10 years of happiness, Dance Gavin Dance.
Has it been 10 years?
It's in 2009.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of, even I'm sure you're familiar with the Swan Posting group. A lot of people in that group, that is still a lot of their favorite records of their catalog and stuff. And so I guess real quick, reflecting on that record and your time in that band, what does it mean to you looking back on it now, and how the response of people still loving that record today with putting your mark on that band and everything?
Man, I had no idea that this record was going to be such an important thing to everybody. Really, we wrote Happiness about how depressed we all were. Like, Happiness was an ironic title, but also just kind of appreciating all emotions, because if we were just happy all the time, life would be mundane, so just based on the title, it was like there was a lot of obviously heartache that I was going through. And I listened back on that record and I was just like, what?
Yeah, especially now because, like I said, it is 10 years and stuff. The whole 10-year thing's big now. So a lot of people are going back and listening to it. They're like, oh my God, this record's awesome. There's some people, they're like, they're those fans of that band are so passionate to where they're like, this is the best record of the band, and it's like record, 10 years later, they have they've had JC back for a bit, now Tillian and stuff. But they always come back to that one. And so that's a pretty, I guess something you got to be proud of, I'm
blessed, I really feel like any one of those records could have been like a cult classic, and for some reason Happiness is, and so I'm just really thankful, and Dance Gavin Dance will always be kind of the jump start to my career, and so I always look fondly at those years of craziness and just being young and and nuts.
No, there's something that's interesting about that whole whatever swancore genre that that you're in that and stuff, along with Will and all those other bands like that, is that you guys stay busy. It's like I was talking to your manager about this a little bit before that. It's like you guys, it's like something with that niche, that genre where everybody in their main band has 3 other bands they're doing. And you just put out a solo record, Royal Coda, you put a record with them last year out. And so with you doing that music and stuff with the solo record, to start there before we go to Royal Coda, I guess I was listening to it again today, and there's a little, got some more hip-hop vibes on, a little bit of rapping and stuff. And so when you're writing solo stuff, what kind of headspace are you going to versus, writing with, like a band like Royal?
So I actually had a really hard time recording this album. I've actually attempted to record it twice before I actually did it for real with Mike Watts at Voodoo Studios in Long Island. And so I've been sitting on these songs for a really long time, and it was kind of interesting the way I went about it lyrically. I've been listening to my own demos of these songs, recorded multiple times for years, for almost 5 years now. I think it has been about 5 years, and like just hearing the melodies and the simplisticness about it. I don't know. It really just kind of spoke to me in a different way, and so I really wrote a lot of the lyrics like at the studio, and that's kind of something that I've done in the past, but I don't always do. So literally it was like an hour or two before each session that I would actually track the vocals. I would write what I was about to do.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because it came very easily.
Yeah.
It's almost as if I had already written it, based on how many times I've listened to these songs and dwelled on them.
Yeah.
And I know, people that listen to my stuff, it was just like, oh my God, you haven't put out a record in like 4 years. Like, what are you doing? But there was a lot of trial and error and just jumping around the place, like Eternity Forever. That was fun. It like didn't last very long, ironically. And Pushover, kind of the same thing. I think we'll put out.
Busy guy, yeah.
I think we'll put out the albums. Like, we have a full-length album. I'm not quite happy with it yet.
Okay.
But we'll be putting that out soonish. Just the solo thing kind of just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And then once I think I was about to record it, but then I hooked up with Sergio and did the Royal Coda record.
Yeah,
that was like the last one that I was like, okay, after this record, I'm doing my own record. Well, and that whole time I would tour as a solo artist on Everything Is Beautiful and the 2 albums that I had before that, which is enough material, but and I even toured on the Eternity Forever stuff with Televangelist. That was really fun.
Yeah.
That was such a fun tour. But yeah, I think it's just finally time to give the solo moniker like a new record and a little bit of a push. And Sergio and Will like loved my solo album, so they're like, we're gonna help you out. Like, it's gonna be a co-release. Like, I kind of revamped my label. I haven't really been doing much with Esk Records for like a year and a half. And so it's kind of being resurrected. And so that's the first new album for Esk. So just lots of exciting stuff. But yeah, just to answer your question, like, yeah, we've just been bouncing around doing other projects. And I even have some stuff with the Marionette too that we somehow recorded. They put out a single, but there's like a few more songs that I think they're strategically waiting to release, and I really, really liked what me and a Marionette did together.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just kind of all over the place. I do a bunch of like vocal features for tons of bands. I just did one for like a super metalcore band called Infinite Sleep. I'm about to do one for this band out in New York called U Blue. So I'm always just doing it.
Yeah. So today, it was like on top of all this, Will Swan was announced for your band Royal Coda.
Yeah.
And a lot of conspiracy theories, including mine, started popping up about what's going on and stuff. And so we touched on Happiness a little bit earlier. Just set the record straight. Is there any plans to do a Happiness playthrough as Royal Coda for the 10-year mark or anything?
I mean, I wouldn't like rule it out, but because we listen to our fans, if fans want us to do something, like, it's not like I want to play Uneasy Hearts for the millionth time. But like, if fans want to hear it, then I'll play it. Like I'll play it on my solo show. I'll do whatever. So if that is something that like we see a lot of people wanting to do, then all I have to do is go, hey, Will, do you want to do this?
I can tell you the big thing people want is after that tour announcement, everybody sort of like did the little switcheroos and like, wait, everybody but Mingus is on this tour that was on that record. Are they going to play this are they going to form and play this record on this tour, you know? And so like there's like a lot of these things going around after seeing that, him joining your band, and then like seeing that tour lineup. And so there's a lot of like people like wondering, including I guess us, you know, with it being the 10-year thing, being special, if we can expect anything like that from you guys.
Okay, I will say this. I will say that Royal Coda has a new record coming out.
Okay.
And excuse me.
Really enjoyed the last one, so that's
Royal Coda has a new record coming out, and Will Swan is on that entire record.
Nice.
That's kind of why he's joining the band.
Gotcha.
We've been keeping it under wraps for a while. And I will say that one or two songs really sound like Happiness. Like they're gonna hit you the same way that record hit you.
Gotcha.
And we did it purposefully, and I think everybody's going to be really happy about it.
I don't know which one, but I want to say even on your solo record, listening to it again, there's like one where the intro and the way you came in with the vocals sounded similar to that too, because I listened to that record again today too. And so when that song came on, I was like, oh wow, this kind of like, you know, reminisces of his, you know, days and that, you know, doing that stuff. And so
I put like a lot of little Easter eggs on this solo record.
That's amazing.
And one of those little gems that you can find on the record is the song After People You Know on the self-titled album off the Death Star record. I sing 2 verses, and I repurposed those 2 verses in the secret song After People You Know. And that's actually where the phrase Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most came from, is that hidden song. Is I sing in the chorus, Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most.
Okay.
And so then we thought that was cool, so we made Uneasy Hearts that title. But anyways, so the 2 verses that are between the choruses on that song, I repurposed those lyrics. I sang it in a different key, and it's in a different, it's like, it's the same but different. Yeah.
Okay.
And
something else too is like you guys really care about the music, and the fact that you guys are willing to do that and put all this stuff in there is like, because you know, like, you know, everybody knows like this whole like genre, this world that you're in, you know, it's very, you know, passionate. People very much take care of the music and stuff, and just hearing that, like, you're throwing Easter eggs in there from like your past work, you know, and seeing if people will notice it is pretty damn impressive. Like you do not hear a lot of bands, you know, a lot of people, they like shy away from their past work and stuff, and they're just like, especially if it's an old band they were in, and the fact that you're, you know, throwing Easter eggs into it is pretty admirable, actually. So
well, I don't think anybody in Dance Gavin Dance thought that Dance Gavin Dance would be this big. Like, we were just messing around. Like, we were just playing the weirdest, craziest music we could. And even when I wasn't in Dance Gavin Dance, I was playing in another band, like on shows, on tours with them. You know what I mean? Before and after Dance Gavin Dance. Like, after I got kicked out of DGD, I was in a band called A Lot Like Birds, and we toured with DGD all the time.
That's one of the most bands, man.
So, and then before DGD, I was in this like band called 5 Minute Ride that got signed to Rise Records and used to play with DGD all the time. Like when Johnny was in the band. That's how I met like pretty much everybody. Is we'd play shows together in Sacramento.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it's all just been a crazy soap opera of all of our music careers. You know what I mean? And there's happiness and there's sadness and there's you know, I don't know, self-loathing, and there's fucking, you know, jealousy and revenge. I mean, literally you hear it in every single one of a Dance Gavin Dance song.
Yeah.
Like, the reason I like Tillian so much is because of his ability to be vulnerable and speak his mind and not, I don't know, you can shroud things in metaphor, but there's something powerful about being literal.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Royal Coda album coming out this year, next year, or?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but I think we're trying to put it out before the tour.
Okay, sweet.
Like,
so that's like 2 albums in 2 years, I guess. So
yeah.
looking forward to that one. Your solo record's out, so pick that up. Go stream Happiness again. 10 years of that. So go check out Andreas, who's on this tour, who one of our old writers actually hyped up for us for a bit. We featured him on our website a few times.
Andreas.
So shout out to.
I literally have an Andreas tattoo.
There you go, right there. Well, Kurt, thanks for your time today. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Trenton with SoundlinkTV. Kurt, Travis, thanks for watching.
TV.